Good morning, Glory. It's Joe again, and we are now at the end of week 8. And I am doing very well, I have to say. Today is weigh and measure in day, so I have already weighed myself on my home scale. As soon as the center opens in an hour, I will run and weigh myself on the Wellness Center scale as well and compare those two numbers, and I'll show them to you here. First, I had my home number, which is this. And then I had my Wellness Center number, which is this. So that gives you an idea of how close they are. I have not had any food, water, anything in between those two weigh-ins. I will show you my measurements, and I didn't believe one of them. It was pretty funny, probably. For real? Okay. Wow. Sure, I'm gonna do it one more time. Make sure it's not bunching. Okay. 37 inches now on the waist. So, yeah. Let's see what the hips got to say. The fun part, making sure I've got it on the widest point. That's mostly at my belly. Okay, 48 and a half. I'm gonna make sure I get it straight this time. Last time I wasn't quite straight. This is the same sports bra, same shirt, same clothes. So let's say 43 and a quarter. $37. Make sure I got it at the widest point. Okay, let's go compare that to the original numbers. I did my measurements and wow, notes. I have lost 1.75 inches, so 1.75 inches off my bust, which is primarily off my back fat because the boobage doesn't really change on me. I'm not one of those people who loses it here general ever before. We'll see what happens this time if I get to a much more progressed level. Under bust or chest, 1.5 inches since the beginning has gone. My waist, since the beginning, I have lost 3 inches off my waist. Off my hips, from the first day, 8 weeks, I have lost 5.5 inches off my hips. Yeah, buddy. Hi. Hello. Woo! And all those other sounds. Now, I've had the Fitbit for about a week now. I'm really liking it. I'm feeling less like I have to go grab my phone so I can count my steps. Or I am still using my phone though on my morning walks with my walk app, so that it logs actual workouts separate from just daily walking. Because I did get the HR, I am finding it really interesting to see how my heart rate is doing. Like, my resting heart rate runs between 65 and 69 beats per minute, which from my Googling is a pretty healthy range. I am seeing how my heart rate's doing on the peak of some of those hills. And it tells me with this heart rate and that kind of workout, my fat burning range versus my cardio range, where my heart rate's really working hard for what they're calling my peak, which usually hits around 150 to 154 for like 3 minutes as I'm hitting the hardest part of the hardest hill and not letting it interfere with my pace. And can I just say, per this morning's walk, 19 minutes and just a few seconds change per mile. I'm finding it easier and easier to actually maintain my pace. My body is getting there, and it's really holding that zone without me having to go, oh, I'm slowing down, and push myself a little bit harder to get back where I wanted to be. So my 19-minute mile is happening much more doably. I will be reevaluating my TDEE. Based on the first weigh-in, I'll take the other number too, and then I'll plug that in and I'll post that right here. So what I'm expecting is that my food might need to go down 100 calories or so. But we will see once I have the actual legit both weigh-ins. I've been doing pretty good about not eating carbs so late in the day. I'm trying to eat the carbs around noonish, between noon and 2, and then I have something much more veggie, beans, protein, fibery for dinner. Although I gotta say, I've been feeling very bloated the next morning and just full from it. Getting that many calories of of those kind of foods, it can be hard. It's very filling in an unusual way, especially because I'm not ready to start eating early. And if I'm not just pounding candy and chips and junk food, 2,000's a lot to get to. I am getting there though, and my body has made the adjustment. No more upset tummy issues, even when I'm mixing something else a little in with the eggs now. I'm trying to see if my body will accept it more if I have like a little tuna with the eggs and maybe a couple of crackers. I got these Blue Diamond rice and almond crackers, so there's no wheat. I don't do gluten free, but when I'm starting my stomach off like that, I wanted a plainer, less digestively dangerous cracker to start with. And that really worked pretty well for me. I've been doing on the Fitbit some challenges with some friends, and last week I came in second on my challenge, and that was with me actually not having the Fitbit for the first few days of the challenge. So I'm being competitive, yay! And that's, another reason to keep me motivated. I did have a long work weekend, and I didn't let it interfere. I walked 5 days last week, so I'm glad I was able to get that many walks in. I deliberately took 2 days off. One was a rainy day, and two was a day when I knew I was going to be at work really late. And since I had already done 5, I wanted to give my body that little morning off and give it a little bit of a break. Medium yoga progress. I have yogaed a little bit, or at the least, I'm trying to stop and do my long stretches and bend and stretch out my back and touch my toes and stretch out those muscles and bits. But I haven't done as much yoga as I would like. My knees have not felt awesome. One of the things I was doing was cutting back on some of the vitamins I like to take, especially my glucosamine, because based on my initial investigations, there was conflicting data about whether the glucosamine vitamin would knock me out of the fast. At this point, I've done some more investigation because I really need to be taking that one. My knees are telling me I haven't been taking it, and they were feeling pretty darn good for a minute there. So I'm going to start taking it every day. A lot of people are like, well, you're not supposed to take things like that on an empty stomach. Well, you know what? I did that anyway. Even when I wasn't having a fasting day, I'd take my morning vitamins and then eat 4 hours later. So that feels less of an issue to me. I don't get an upset stomach on it, and I think that's the main concern with it. I don't think it's a matter of how your body is absorbing it if it's an empty stomach. I think it's a digestive concern, and that's a non-issue. So as of yesterday, I started taking my glucosamine even on an on fasting days and every day, because my knees are not thrilled, which is making it harder to get back to some of my yoga. I'm just trying to do the poses that aren't so hard on the knees while I get it back in my system. I've been doing really, really good though. I'm still feeling motivated. I actually considered doing another extra day fasting today, but it's only been 2 weeks since I did it last, and I don't know if that's a good idea. I have the urge to do it, but I don't want to ask too much of my body, as much as I want to randomize what I'm doing enough so that my body doesn't plateau or get too used to things. I don't want to go too far the other way and mess it all up because I'm doing longer fast too frequently. And I just haven't been able to find an answer on how frequently is a good idea to do a 2-day or 3-day fast. So as of right now, I am just gonna stop in a little bit and eat soon. And I am considering like an 88 to 90 hour fast, because the 72 was tough. We've talked about that before. 72 landed me coming out of the fast in an odd time in the evening when I'm done eating normally by then anyway. So it's too late to start eating. So if I go all the way to the next morning, that should land me at just shy of 90 hours. So that is the number I am currently considering going for the next time I do a full fast. And if I'm doing one once a month, I would like to do one maybe by week 10. So 2 more weeks, and I'll hold off and resist doing a double day and hold off until I can do what pretty close to amounts to a 2.5, 3 day, because 90 hours is a pretty good long one. I don't foresee any real problems with it. We'll see. I'm going to do the apple cider vinegar, do the cream of tartar, do the sea salt, make sure I'm getting lots of water, make sure that my muscles and the minerals are staying hydrated and getting the nutrition it needs through the minerals and the sea salts, and hopefully that muscle fatigue won't be such a problem. But I'm really anxious to do a longer one. I don't know why. I've never been so into not eating. It's funny. I will have a beautiful day, and I hope you do too. uh, under bust chest measurement, I lost another 1.5 inches. Waist measurement, now not another, I'm misspeaking. Cut, rewind. We're between 65 and 65, 65 and 65.